So, what if the biggest thing holding you back isn't some external force, but it's actually, well, it's you? Today, we're diving into that exact idea, pulling out the key insights from Ryan Holiday's incredible book, Ego is the Enemy.
All right, let's just jump right in with a question that really gets to the heart of this whole thing. I want you to think about this for a second. What's the one thing that can torpedo your efforts when you're trying to achieve something, and then turn around and ruin it all for you once you actually have it?
Well, according to Holiday, the answer is your ego. And we're not talking about the Freudian psychological kind of ego here. Nope, he's talking about an unhealthy belief in your own importance. You know that arrogance, that self-centered ambition that just clouds your judgment? It's that little voice whispering in your ear that you're better than you are, that you deserve more. And that voice is a danger at every single stage of your life.
The book actually breaks down this fight against ego into 3 stages that, let's be honest, we all go through: aspiration, success, and failure. So let's start with that very first battle, the one that kicks off the second we decide we want to do something great.
This is a trap that is so easy to fall into. Our culture tells us to dream big, right? But that can create this weird sense of entitlement. We get so wrapped up in this grand, flashy vision of what success looks like that we completely forget about the 1,000 tiny, boring, and difficult steps it actually takes to get there. We focus on the fantasy, not the work.
And this is why it's so important to trade that passion for purpose. You see, passion can be this blind, ego-driven thing. It's loud, it loves attention, but it can burn out fast. Purpose, though, purpose is deliberate. It's that quiet, steady internal drive that's just focused on the work itself. Because the work is what matters, not how much noise you make about it.
So what's the solution? It's to always be a student. Think about it. A real student, someone who is genuinely curious and humble, doesn't have space for ego. They're just too busy learning, absorbing, and getting better. That student mindset is your best defense against that entitlement trap.
Okay, so let's say you do it. You navigate that first stage. You stay humble, you put in the work, and bam, you achieve success. Awesome, right? But now you're facing an even more dangerous enemy.
Success can feel really good. It's intoxicating, and it can make you start to believe your own hype. The danger is that you become so blinded by your own amazing story that you totally lose touch with the reality that got you there in the first place. You literally start living in a fantasy world you've built for yourself.
And if you want a perfect and honestly terrifying example of this, just look at Enron. These guys were hailed as geniuses, the smartest guys in the room, and that success fed this massive collective ego that made them think they were above the rules, above reality itself. They started hiding huge debts, faking profits, thinking they were untouchable, and that delusion led to one of the most famous corporate collapses in history.
So how do you stop that from happening to you? You build systems that are bigger than your ego. It means focusing on clear core values, creating real accountability to make sure people actually live by them, and always keeping the work itself at the center of everything, not the personalities. It's about building something that will last, not just a monument to yourself.
So you aspire, maybe you succeed, but success is never permanent. Everyone, and I mean everyone, eventually faces failure. And it's right there in those low moments that ego wages its third and final battle, doing everything it can to stop you from learning a single thing from the experience.
You see, when we fail, ego wants to push us into what Holiday calls dead time. That's when we blame everyone else, feel sorry for ourselves, and just wait for things to get better. But there's an alternative, a live time. The classic example is Malcolm X using his prison sentence to read every book he could get his hands on. That's a lifetime, actively using your failure as a classroom, a chance to grow, no matter how bad things seem.
And here's the real game changer. You have to completely redefine what success means to you. It's not about the award or the title or the money. Real success is internal. It's the peace of mind you get from knowing deep down that you gave your absolute best effort. The outcome, a lot of times, that's not up to us. But the effort, that is always 100% within your control. And when you believe that, ego loses all its power. So we've gone through the 3 main battlegrounds: aspiration, success, and failure. But this isn't some linear path you just walk down once and you're done. No, this is a constant, lifelong practice of keeping that inner enemy in check.
In fact, you can think of it like an endless loop. Throughout our lives, we're just going to keep cycling through these stages over and over again. We'll find new things to aspire to, which will lead to new successes and, inevitably, new failures. The real goal is to learn how to navigate each stage with the right attitude,
being humble when you're aspiring, gracious when you succeed, and resilient when you fail.
And that leads to the big question the book kind of leaves us with. Just take a second and ask yourself, where are you right now? Are you in a period of aspiration, reaching for something new? Are you maybe riding a wave of success? Or are you dealing with a recent failure? Because just knowing where you are on that loop is the very first step to managing the ego that comes with it.
And in the end, this is really what it all boils down to. The way you control your ego is by focusing on the one thing you can truly control, the work itself. Just pour all of your energy into the process, into your craft, into doing the absolute best job you can. Because the work is enough. And if you can really truly live by that, then you'll always be able to keep your greatest enemy in check.